Welcome to Sit Downs with City Lifestyle, Vegas Edition podcast. My name's Chrissy Bound. I'm the owner of Henderson City Lifestyle magazine, and we are back with our Meet the Partners series. With us today is Dr. Kevin Tsui, owner of Henderson Pulmonology. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the invite.
Yeah,
this is awesome.
we're thrilled to have you.
This is beautiful studio.
We had the joy of having your wife on with us earlier this year.
Oh, goody.
Yep. So today is your day in the sun, my friend.
All right. I'm always the fiddler behind her,
gosh.
right? I'm just the doctor's husband.
And also the doctor. So, you have had a long-standing history in the medical community here in Las Vegas. So share with our viewers/listeners a little bit about your history in the medical community.
Absolutely. It's been a long journey. I think I've been in Southern Nevada for about almost 17, 18 years now.
Wow.
Started off and did my training here in residency, fellowship, and been here locally as a critical care and pulmonologist for 17 years now.
That's a long time.
Long time.
Did you always know growing up that you wanted to be a doctor?
No.
So when was the moment where you're like, okay, I'm going to go into medicine. This is my path.
Honestly,
Yeah.
when someone said I couldn't do it.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to hear the story now.
That was in college, undergrad, and being a doctor was probably one of the
Things on the list.
differentials on the list to
Yep.
do. And obviously, the first thing was baseball and some other stuff, right?
Oh, baseball.
Baseball, my first love. And went to speak to a counselor and some other people, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, you probably won't make it.
How sad. That's terrible.
It's okay." So
Because here you are.
they said you can't, so I said I will.
I love that. I love that. It's so funny how sometimes those moments that can feel demoralizing in your life end up being those pivotal moments that change the entire trajectory.
It's crazy.
So what was it that made you want to get into pulmonology specifically then?
That was probably the best mistake that ever happened, honestly.
Okay.
I was internal medicine and pulmonology and critical care were not on the they were on the lottery ticket or on the bingo card, right?
Okay.
So I initially wanted to be an orthopedic surgeon.
Okay.
And by some way, miracle, divine intervention, that just didn't work out for us.
Okay.
So ended up here in Southern Nevada as the best mistake that ever happened. Got into internal medicine here in Southern Nevada. Got into a residency and had the best support from my then girlfriend, now wife.
Oh, I love it. Shout out to Harpreet.
That's right. Shout out, Mama. And so so I stuck around and did internal medicine and then eventually helped create with my seniors the first pulmonology and critical care fellowship in Nevada, I believe. So,
That's amazing.
yeah.
And what year was that? Somewhere in the 2010s?
That was probably around 2010, 2011. And the class ahead of me, the first class, who was now one of my partners, Dr. Pring, we still work together to this day. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Those relationships that are forged during those educational years, whether it be college or med school or whatever, those are bonds that can never be broken.
Absolutely. It was crazy. It was just a weird how things kind of fell into place. Had a really awesome program director as well and mentors that just said, "Hey, stay in Vegas.
Yeah.
Let's do something together." And so we did.
And you guys have your family here and everything now.
We do.
Two boys.
Two little Chindian boys, half Chinese, half Indian.
I
So
love it.
So
cute.
they better be smart. I'm kidding.
They will be.
Boys.
They
Yes.
will be. Are you kidding me? They came from you and Harpreet. They have to be. So what was it then that made you want to, start your own practice?
So I was with a bigger group in town for, I don't know, since I graduated from fellowship 10 years or so. And their vision for my future and my vision for my future just didn't align. And so it was time to do my own thing, do things how I wanted to be, do things how I wanted things to be done.
For sure.
And so I created my own inpatient practice, inpatient group, my pulmonology and critical care group in the hospital. And then I also opened up a pulmonology practice and a clinic out here in Henderson.
So for those who are not familiar, give us a little bit of a background for what Henderson Pulmonology is.
So Henderson Pulmonology is a pulmonary practice here in Henderson that we specialize in what as our motto is breathing health into life, right? So we help those with pulmonary issues, lung issues, and try to educate them and help make them successful in their health journeys. So that's the goal.
Okay. So what are some of the most common symptoms that you're seeing patients for?
So most common symptoms are usually shortness of breath, cough, related to asthma, COPD, pneumonia.
Okay.
We see a lot of patients with sleep apnea, a lot of patients with allergies, a lot of patients with pulmonary hypertension, pulmonary fibrosis, and the unfortunate cases of pulmonary nodules and potentially lung cancer. So,
So are you seeing a lot more patients, a bigger influx of patients coming out of COVID then? With people having just difficulties with breathing and challenges?
yes and no.
Okay.
There are definitely some sequelae of COVID that's caused some chronic breathing issues, but they've just usually the same shortness of breath, cough, stuff that we see.
So let's talk about the sleep apnea side.
Sure.
Because as you and I have discussed, I have a very, very loud snorer in my own home. So this poor man, half the time I'm like, is he even breathing? Because he'll do the longest intake of a snore of all time. And then it will just be silent. And I'll wait, and then I'll hear a a while later. So
Like a bear breathing down there?
it's a bear.
Walrus?
It's
like a walrus?
Tanner's like a giant bear.
Yes.
So how do you, if you're, if someone's listening or watching this, how do you know if it's time to go see a doctor? Like, how do you establish the differentiator between just traditional snoring and sleep apnea?
That's a great question.
It's hard, right?
It is hard. It's difficult. A lot of times if we actually are suffering from sleep apnea, myself included,
Okay.
You'll notice that your cognition and your day-to-day just isn't the same. You're kind of in a brain fog, you're fatigued, you're falling asleep easily. And the best way to go ahead and distinguish between regular snoring that's not affecting your sleep or in your body is doing a sleep study.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have to wear the big machine and everything for the sleep study? How does that work?
So nowadays, the more modern way of doing sleep studies are actually home tests.
Okay.
These home tests are pretty accurate and a lot more comfortable. Obviously, people love to sleep at home more so than
Yes.
in a studio, right?
Yeah.
So in a sleep studio, yes, they're hooked up to you, things on their head, their chest, and different measuring devices, and they assess for sleep apnea. These home tests are also very similar. They do recordings as well, and they get sent back to these companies, and their sleep doctors will interpret the sleep studies, and I usually discuss that with the sleep docs as well. And we come up with a possible diagnosis of sleep apnea or not.
Okay.
So best way would be a sleep study.
A sleep study. And, if sleep, let's just say sleep apnea goes untreated, like what are some of the long-term, conditions that people can develop from if you just do nothing with your sleep apnea and say, forget it, I don't want to sleep like Darth Vader every night with the machine on, like what would happen?
It's not sexy, right?
No, it's not. No. No.
Undiagnosed or untreated sleep apnea can definitely lead to a lot of bad things down the line.
Okay.
Some of the things we just kind of, what we do with, I mean, when I do with teaching with medical students and fellows and residents, we kind of start with system-based and work our way down, right?
Okay.
So neurologically, cognitive issues are
Okay.
definitely there. Down the line, there aren't studies confirming yet, but there could be issues with memory loss and stuff like that down the line.
Oh, wow.
Definitely cognition during the day and sleepiness and fatigue during the day.
Okay.
Potentially falling asleep at a stoplight.
Oh my gosh. So myriad of things we don't want.
Correct. Cardiac-wise, I'm going to say we can definitely, some of the things that it can lead to would be arrhythmias.
Oh, wow.
And remodeling of the heart, and so different shaping of the heart. So imagine just trying to survive every night and trying to go through going through a big stress every night, and your body is just screaming for oxygen, and so everything's going to respond. So one of the things would be arrhythmia. Some atrial fibrillation would be the most common. Some deadly arrhythmias can occur, and remodeling of the heart. So
That's wild.
Yeah.
So by people just ignoring something like, oh, I'm just a rampant snorer, then it could lead to all these crazy health conditions.
Absolutely. It can lead to breathing issues down the future with pulmonary hypertension, with just high blood pressure within the lungs themselves, not throughout the body, as most people know, just hypertension, but within the lungs themselves. Can lead to weight gain.
Oh, wow.
And in some men can lead to erectile dysfunction. Yeah.
Okay. Well, all the reasons why if you're a rampant snorer, you should probably get checked out.
Got to get checked out.
And the other thing, too, that you mentioned is, allergies. Allergies are a huge one as well.
Yes.
So I got to say, I never thought I was an allergy sufferer until recently. So is it Vegas, or is it the fact that I've reached a certain age? Like, how does this work?
We never blame age.
Exactly. It's so funny.
It's probably Vegas, unfortunately. It's the climate, it's the weather, it's the dryness out here. And so we think about it, how dry it is out here. our nasal passages get dried out. Our natural defense mechanisms of us being able to catch all those things within the moisture of our sinuses and in our nose and the rest of the respiratory tract kind of goes away. And so people are very allergic to the stuff out here. Just think about how dry it gets in the summer. All that stuff gets dried out, the pollen, and then those big winds and storms come up, washes everything up, and then the wind comes back again. And so it's always in the air. And so our lungs and our sinuses have to act like the best HEPA filter ever. And mulberry, juniper are the worst trees here in town that get everyone.
And they're in everyone's yards.
Oh, yeah.
They're all over.
Absolutely.
So we have no chance. Yeah. Well, it's funny because I don't remember having this issue when I was growing up, but like I feel like everyone, once we hit the transition seasons here in town, everyone's complaining about sinuses, allergies, sneezing, coughing, all the things. So do you see a lot of patients during this time of year?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it's always the seasonal changes. There's certain times in the years when we know that the allergens are super high. And so we kind of pre-treat that, or we actually will say, hey, we'll give you a prescription for this or that just to have on hand so that when you start to feel the symptoms, start taking them. Another thing that we have to consider as well with allergies is immunology.
Okay.
So we have to look at our immune system in terms of inflammation, IgEs, eosinophils. Those can definitely contribute to asthma and allergy-like symptoms that it's kind of this new genre of medications, biologics are starting to treat so that we can hopefully stay out of the shortness of breath and asthma and allergy-like symptoms. So,
well, and asthma is another one too. So originally, and maybe this is just, obviously I'm not in the medical community, but I thought asthma was something that kids were either born with or they either had it or they didn't have it. But now there's like developmental asthma, right? So how does that all work?
Once again, it's going to be these allergens.
Okay.
Allergens in immunology.
Okay.
So yeah, we have to look when someone comes in and sees me for asthma-like symptoms, shortness of breath, cough, wheezing. We go through the whole genre of doing the pulmonary function test.
Okay.
We'll do blood work to look at those inflammatory markers that we talked about with in terms of immunology. And we have to work up the whole gamut just to make sure we're not missing anything. Because there could be exercise-induced asthma, eosinophilic asthma, IgE asthma, different forms of asthma that we have to kind of decipher and treat. So
interesting. See, this is like a whole different world for me. Like, it's so funny because, I've told you this before, but like sometimes when I hear you talk about this stuff, I'm like, oh my gosh, like your day-to-day life is just, it's crazy what you guys are doing and like the help that you're giving people on a daily basis. And there's so many people that are suffering here in Las Vegas from all these different things. And I think, from just the average Joe, what I'll call myself here, there's a lot of things, a lot of ways that we could probably be living a lot more comfortably than we're sitting here suffering through on a day-to-day basis.
We could.
So, I mean, if you had to say, like, one of the things that makes your practice specifically unique, like obviously your experience that you've had here in town in itself is, but, what makes Henderson Pulmonology so unique versus other practices?
I go to work in pajamas every day, right?
I love it. Right? You do have the mohawk. Best mohawk in town.
Share office space with the doctor, right?
Yes.
So we create a very fun, welcoming, chill environment in the office. I'm not there to stack up 45 patients a day in the clinic. Those days are gone for me. I can't keep up with that anymore. And you can't provide good healthcare when you do that.
Yeah.
And so we're giving patients time. We're there to sit there, listen, talk, educate to help them with their health journey. And so we're trying to go back to the old mom and pop
I love that
practice and just have fun and be welcoming and not have to be sitting there stressed because I have 2 more waiting, 3 more waiting to see me. And so we get things through. We get patients in, get them out, and people we have a good time there.
And they feel like they're cared for, I'm sure, because it does feel like such a rush most of the time now when you go to the doctor. It's like, okay, here's my 3 minutes. I got to list everything that's wrong with me in this amount of time. Right. It's like boom, boom, boom. But I feel like that's something, you guys have done a really good job of, both you and Harpreet, of just really taking that time, slowing down, and taking that time to get to know your patients on such a deep level. The mom and pop is a great way of describing it because it's not typical anymore,
right.
And I think it's so important because it's like, you get to know your patients on such a deeper level.
Right, that's the goal, right? I mean, with insurance reimbursement, all that stuff. We're not going to be rich.
Yeah.
So there's no money in medicine anymore, right? So
Yeah.
we're here to be rich within here and within treating our patients and making sure that they live healthy lives and hopefully optimize their lives, right? And so that's kind of what we're trying to do, bring back that feeling of being home and just hanging out with a friend who went to med school and was $500,000 in debt. Just come hang out, give you some advice, right? And come hang out with our self-proclaimed therapy puppy, Cooper, right? Our little
cute.
golden doodle who is hypoallergenic, doesn't shed. So
Yeah.
he brings
Brings a lot to the office.
Absolutely,
A whole vibe. So
just
funny.
him in general.
Well, what would you say would be the thing that gives you the greatest sense of fulfillment in your job?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, just the thing that brings you the most joy or fulfillment. And it can't be working with Harpreet, because we already mentioned that.
No, as a doctor's husband, no. I think the best fulfillment to me is seeing patients come back on our follow-up and say, hey, I appreciate you spending time. We tried this, we tried that, and you listened to us, and we found a way to cope, or found a way to make things better, and found a way to improve our life. And that's the biggest thing, is improving life and enjoying what we have, right? As they always say, you only live once, you only have one life. So when I try to optimize that and be there to help somebody with that. So
I love it.
Yeah.
And if there was one thing that you'd want people to know about just lung health in general, what would it be?
It's difficult, especially here in this part of the country,
know.
right? And so we have a lot of irritants, unfortunately. Obviously, the best advice would stay away from irritants: smoking, vaping, cigarettes, and casinos. But we can't avoid those places, right? So allergens in the air, we can't avoid that either. So it's difficult. That's why I always have a job here. No,
Yes.
it's called job security, right? So.
It's true. I mean, that was one thing I have to say, like, that blew my mind when I first moved here, was that smoking was allowed inside. And, when I first moved to Vegas, I'm like, what is this? This is insanity, And you have to, like, for ladies, we have to time our hair wash day around, a casino visit.
Absolutely.
But I could not believe it. And I know they've done a lot of restrictions in the last 20 years, just since I've been here. But yeah, I mean, I would have to imagine that pulmonology is a lot more prominent in Las Vegas, where smoking is still legal inside in most places, versus other places across the country.
It's very busy. And if you are someone who suffers from pulmonary issues, best way would be, unfortunately, masking and protect your own lungs, entering into a casino or even a dust storm, something comes through, or those very problematic months that we see during the year, during certain seasons where the allergens and pollens are super high. So
Well, and Kevin, if people are having any of these issues that you've mentioned today, if they just have questions, how can they get in touch with you?
Easily. We can be reached at hendersonpulmonology.com. There's an email there, info@hendersonpulmonology.com, and you can give us a call at that phone number as well on the website, and we're more than happy to get you guys in and help you with your health journey.
I love it. Well, I appreciate you making the time. I know how busy your schedule is, and I appreciate you making the time to come on with us today, and we'll have you back on again with the other Dr. Tsui in the spring.
Absolutely. Anything for you, bestie.
Oh, thank you so much. I mean, honestly, you guys have just been such great partners for us with the magazine, and we're just so thrilled to, and as friends, and that's the best part of this whole journey for me, is getting to know you both as well. So
more like family.
It is like family.
Right?
It is. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you again for coming on.
Of course.
If you guys need any help with any of your pulmonology needs, reach out to Dr. Kevin Tsui. And thank you so much for listening or watching and joining us today. We'll see you guys next time.